Right, so after blending a few layers here, so now I got 3 layers, and they're all turned down to different opacities, and I got this uniform skin look. I can go into Maya, and this is the worst render. Okay, so this hasn't been tampered at all. I can go in here. There we go. Not too bad for not doing much at all about, painting or anything else. Mainly, I've just been baking shadows, throwing new pixels on top of those shadows. Keep going with that over and over again. You can see this hand. So it's already have some self shading already. So Maya does have the shading capabilities already in it. So if you bring in some of the self shading in there along with the play, it looks downright amazing later on. Okay. Other things, last but not least, what you could do is tweak the color within here by going into layer, new adjustment layer, and then you can do maybe like a color balance. Okay. With a color balance, you can go in and see if you can find a better skin tone. Again, really hard to see what I'm looking at here. And just for giggles, layer, new adjustment layer, and also do something like a photo filter. And nothing quite brings out the shade of goodness than a sepia tone. Using adjustment layers, you can really tweak out like shadows, you can tweak out just about anything you want. You can reload that, try it out. This is the experimentation. I really like this phase because it gives me a chance to get out of ZBrush for a little bit and try other things. So there we go. A little bit better skin tone, and that evened out things along, the areas of skin here in the cracks and crevices. Very sweet. Don't zoom too far in on your model half the time. I mean, if it looks good from an angle like this, don't forget you probably have other things that are attached to it. Obviously, you got to add some color to the lips, maybe some more dark around the eyes. But all in all, it's a very good base tone. And you can bring this back into ZBrush, like that TIFF file. You can take that, now that you've kind of perfected it, and add more and more to it. So you can use Photoshop as a very good in-between workflow. I like this. I want to save it. Blah. I can go back into ZBrush now that I've developed a good base tone using several different layers. And then I can go back in and import that in. Then I can burn it right back into the poly paint. And flip it. And then clone it. It's kind of hard to get it back over to here sometimes. There we go. So now that I have that base tone, and you can see that that sepia tone kind of took and put a nice brown over the top of everything. Kind of unified all my mesh together. But you could definitely see in here, you know, that's a very even skin tone. Don't forget, I've turned off that. So if you do go back into the shade and bring it all together, it really does a nice job. So let's say you're rendering inside ZBrush. Well, by adding all those shadows in here and making it look good here under flat mode, and then going back to your materials, you're going to have an amazing render after the fact. So not everything is going to Maya. You might be using this as a base tone in ZBrush as a render. Alright, so that's it. That's all I have. Sorry for keep rolling on and on about, you know, the transferring back and forth and building up skin layers and all that good stuff. But I really enjoy doing this part more than anything else. I like sculpting, but I really like tricking out textures and getting that overall look. So enjoy, and on with something else.